Well, the Gilmore, underneath the leadership of Pierre, who is here to talk, well, not necessarily about you, but you're going to talk about some award winning artists and what your programs do for not only Kalamazoo, but our international world.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelley. It's wonderful to be here and talk to you. The Gilmore was founded in 1989 with the whole idea being to identify exciting, exceptional talent that is deserving of that, attention and having the world pay attention, and also someone who we know will make an enormous impact on the world of music. And so the whole idea is that there is this secret panel that goes around, and it's led by me. So I'm, one of them. So I go to concerts in secret a lot, buy my tickets on another name, etc. But we go around the world and we find the next exciting Gilmore artist. And we're looking for somebody who is in the middle of their career, on their way up, who can benefit from this award, which is a $300,000 cash award. And with it comes the whole, all of the benefits that frees that artist up. Many of these young artists are trying to rely on concertizing and winning competitions, many in their 20s or early 30s. And that can be a very tough environment, sometimes not very creative. So this just frees them up. And part of this award too is that they have to really use this award to exciting projects that would really help expand them creatively as artists as well, expand their horizons, I should say. So past Gilmore artists include Igor Levit, who was just Grammy nominated, and we have Grammy-winning Leif Ove Ansnes, we have Kirill Gerstein, Ingrid Fleeter, who's been to the festival many times, so they're from all over the world. And then we also have the Gilmore Young Artists Awards, and this is $25,000 each award. $15,000 is cash, and then $10,000 they can use toward commissioning a composer to write a piece for them. So for somebody who's quite young, they have to be under age 22. So for somebody who's young like that, to be able to go to an established composer and have that person write something for them is very impactful, and it really puts them on the map. And it's good for the composer as well. So, and then we often premiere these works at the festival as well. And we help them record it, etc.
Any names to drop with a young artist?
Yes, one in particular, Rachel Naomi Kudo, who is a Gilmore Young artist who we just had on our series. She was able to use her award funds, first of all, to commission a virtuoso pianist and composer, Marc-Andre Hamelin, who has played at the festival before, and he's played all over the world and he had his pieces premiered all over the world. He wrote one specifically for Rachel. And, she is in Italy, wasn't able to travel. And so another portion of her awards, we helped her find a recording studio in Italy and helped her record his work that we could premiere as part of our virtual series this year.
What is this impact that you're presenting through your awards?
The impact for the artist is immense. If you talk to, say, Ingrid Fleeter, Argentinian pianist, she was also quite young. Because of the panel and who selects them, this is a panel of experts, leading industry professionals in the recording industry, in the arts management industry, orchestra industry, and they select this artist. And so for them to give this big stamp of approval or endorsement of this artist and say to the entire music industry, hey, you have to listen up. This is somebody worth watching, worth hearing. What better way for a young artist to be introduced to the world in this way? And then, of course, that to have that financial support for them. Some of them, like Ingrid, didn't have publicist or management, and this allowed her to move forward with that. It allows them to buy that instrument that they've always been dreaming of, because a new Steinway concert grand is, somewhere in the region of $150,000. And many of these classical musicians don't have that kind of money. So this helps them to do that sort of thing. And then commission new works. And it's especially in that realm of commissioning or special projects that they come up with that makes an impact in the music world at large, and we get to partner with organizations like Lincoln Center and Carnegie Hall and the Kennedy Center, and bring projects together that wouldn't have been able to happen otherwise.
Does this put Kalamazoo on the map?
100%. If you go anywhere in the world, if you talk about the Gilmore artists or the Gilmore Young artists, our artists are representing throughout the world, and especially with big institutions like Carnegie Hall and so on. And so to see on their material that this is a collaboration with the Gilmore Festival or the Gilmore right here in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
So Gilmore Artist Award, Gilmore Young Artist Award. How about the Rising Star?
The Rising Stars, that is part of our concert series, and that is also a very important thing that we do. In the non-festival years, we have Rising Stars and we have Piano Masters who we feature. And these Rising Stars are, anywhere from 18 to 30. They're in their mid-20s, and they're just getting their start. But they are people who are young pianists who I recognize and who I see as having enormous potential. And I talk with colleagues in the field, they send me recommendations and so on. And we've had a pretty good track record. One of our rising stars was Kirill Gerstein, who ended up being a Gilmore Young artist and a Gilmore artist. And he was on our Piano Masters and on our festival. So it certainly is very impactful for them.
So if an artist is watching and wants to be one day a Gilmore Artist Awardee or Young Artist Awardee, does it come down to practice?
That certainly helps. Practice. You can put your 10,000 hours in, but also put yourself out there, go out, go do festivals, go participate, go network, put yourself out there, have a website, get somebody to get you to help with marketing materials. And so, a lot of young pianists focus so much on that practice that they forget that, oh, hey, I need to also get a gig one day. So I would say that just encourage them to keep at it, because people like me are paying attention.
Wonderful. Yeah, if you see Pierre in the audience, that's a good sign. Thank you for what you do and for your personal talents as well. Pierre, on behalf of the Gilmore.
Thank you very much.
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.